to someone we all miss, Bob Morgenthau, who did so much for this organization. What an example of a labor of love, everything he did for the police athletic group. What he did for this city, what he did for this country, it's inestimable. We miss him. Everybody who's been a part of the life of this city misses that man, and what an inspiration. So I want to leave you with a simple image, a simple idea that I think epitomizes everything that we strive to achieve. And I believe that this is where we are going. I know we are the safest big city in America. I know that crime has continued to go down, even where we see challenges that must be met. And I tell you, for all of us who every single day pore over the statistics and have to think about the horrible situations and the pain that people still go through, no one thinks the mission is accomplished. But what we do know is that for year after year, the NYPD and partners at the community level continue to make the city safer. And we are never, ever going back. We've come so far as a city. And sometimes you go online, you turn on the TV, you open up a newspaper, and you could feel like it's all slipping away. You could feel like we are not a safe city. I remind you, we're just not going to let that happen. The NYPD is not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. We keep moving forward. This city has changed a lot. It's changed in very foundational ways. The NYPD has changed a lot. The NYPD gets better literally each year. And our ability to reach young people gets better all the time. So we're never going back. All the naysayers, all the doubting Thomases, I can tell you without a question in my mind, we are never going back to those bad old days. This is a new and better New York City. We're going to keep moving forward. But the image I mentioned that I want to leave you with is a very traditional one. And like any audience in New York City, look around the room and you will see people of different faiths, different nationalities from every part of the world. This is a typical New York City room where we're all together and we think that's normal, and we show the world every day that people can live in maybe not perfect harmony, but they can live together, get things done for the good of each other. The image I want to put in your mind is this. It's a very traditional image. And you could think back in your own family history. How many generations do you have to go back to a small town or a village? For some New Yorkers, it's where they came from when they were born. For others, it's one or two generations ago. My two grandparents who came from southern Italy, towns of a few thousand people. That village is just two generations back in my family. And I have been to those villages that my grandparents came from, and they couldn't be more different than New York City. But they came here, and a whole world opened up, and the American dream became real for them. But for everyone here, that village, it's back there in your family history. Maybe a few generations, maybe many generations, but it's back there. We all, once upon a time, came from a village. And every village and every culture and every society had something in common. There were guardians. There were some who were chosen to protect the village, to protect everyone else. Why were they chosen? Because they were the best. They were the strongest. They were the most vigilant. They were respected in the community. The trust that folks in the community had was because they knew that those guardians would be there for them. It didn't matter if it was the middle of the night, whatever threat might exist, those guardians would be watching, and they would have the wherewithal to protect everyone in the village. A position of great respect and honor. And everyone felt it, and young people aspired to that role, and the guardians felt that deep connection to the village that was theirs. They were of and by and for that village. There was no question. That image, traditional, historical, part of all of our family history, if you go back far enough, that image is what we literally are trying to create here in this metropolis today. And it's not easy. And no one says it's going to be perfect, but this is the road we're on. where more and more the residents of every community can look at our officers as their guardians, of and by and for them, that respect and appreciation will grow, that our officers will feel connected to the community, feel of that community. Doesn't matter if they were born there, doesn't matter if it's people of the same background as them, they're going to feel a deeper connection. Neighborhood policing is about people actually knowing each other. First name basis. Officers giving community members their cell phone, their email, so they will hear instantly if the community has a concern. And I have talked to so many people in this city. I've talked to officers and community residents alike. And they say what it does is it makes people feel bonded, makes them feel like they're on the same team. When a store owner or a clergy member or someone from a block association, when there's a problem, they can call their officer, not 911 or 311, but their officer, who they feel connected to. When that officer has that pride that this is the community I am the guardian for, something starts to change. And we're going to keep doing that more and more. And I want a day, and I believe that day will come, not too far into our future. I want there to be a day where every officer walking down the street, on patrol, sees a young man. Doesn't matter what background the officer is from, doesn't matter where they grew up, doesn't matter who that young man is, what they look like. We get to a day where instantly they recognize each other as on the same side. The officer sees that young man and thinks instantly, emotionally, in their heart, that could be my son, that could be my nephew. And the young man sees the officer coming and says, that's my guardian. That's the person who cares about me and will protect me. That is what we are building here in the greatest city in the world. And when we complete that mission, policing will change, our communities will change, we'll be even safer, we'll be even more harmonious, and this whole nation will take note. And there's no place better to lead the way to that kind of future than the city of New York. Thank you. Each specific holiday greeting. So happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Three Kings Day, and a very Happy New Year to all.